Hey everyone, and welcome to the February 2021 Energetic Insights. For those of you guys that don't know me, my name is Depika Mystery, and for over a year now, I have been sharing these energetic insights on a month-by-month basis, and it's really geared up for those of you guys that are becoming more and more consciously aware of your intuitive and energetic abilities and are looking for some practical guidance to help you to navigate your way through. So if that sounds like you, welcome, you're here at the right place. So, how are you guys doing? How was January for you? We have such an interesting energy that's playing out this month in February, and it kind of feels like that many of us are going to be working on a more multi-dimensional level, and that could mean different things to each and every one of us. And also there's this sense that we will be feeling that we're in between three different, and maybe more worlds, and we feel like we're kind of in between these different types of worlds. And also just a generic theme throughout February, what I felt was this really strong and subtle and grounding feminine energy that we kind of working its way through each and every one of the themes. And that this feminine energy really feels like, if you think about a female Amazonian warrior, that's the kind of energy that it's coming through. So it's very feminine, but it's also very earthy and grounding. It's strong and it's subtle. So it's going to be a really interesting month. So before we dive into the themes for this month, let's take a quick recap of January's insights. So the four themes in January were waves of change, what are you feeding, harness your creative potential, and expectations, let them go. And this fourth one is taking it a little bit further, and I feel like some of the themes, as always, will go into the next month, but I really feel, especially the one around expectations and letting them go, I think it's going to show up quite wildly this month in a different way. So with that, let's move on to the first theme, and that is called victim consciousness. And there's this sense where this victim energy is rising. And what it's actually really doing for us is bringing a whole new level of perspective that has been playing out that we may not be aware of, and how we might be actually playing out this drama triangle within us and with the world around us. And it's not a bad thing, right? Each and every one of us is going to feel like a victim at some point in our lives and throughout our lives, right? And all it's really doing is helping us to have a look inside to see what's actually going on, right? And also with the collective energy being so strong, right, in terms of this victim energy that's moving through, what's really going to be key here is really getting aware of your energy and understanding, okay, how much of you are you plugged into this collective victim consciousness? And then how much of that is actually triggering the victim within you, right? So how much are you plugged in and how much are you being triggered? Because at the moment it's kind of muddled up, right? And when it's muddled up, it's easy to kind of not take responsibility for it, blame things around us, and therefore it will just perpetuate and go round and round and round in a cycle. Okay, so here are some questions that you can think about. What are the wounds, trauma, unspoken expectations, suppressed emotions, and self-inflicted pain are you still playing a victim to, right? What are you still playing a victim to? And how are you projecting this kind of play, a victim play or a victim narrative or a victim story? How are you projecting that in the world around you, right? So have a look around in terms of how are you interacting with family members? How are you interacting with friends? How are you interacting with work colleagues? How are you interacting with the world around you? And as you're interacting into the world around you, what is inside of you that you're projecting out? And the quickest and easiest way to determine that is, what are you blaming? Who are you blaming? Why are you blaming them, right? So, and then take another, once you kind of figure that out, is have a look at to see, what's stopping you from taking responsibility for it, right? Because often when we project out, there's something within us that we're not actually taking responsibility for. And to take responsibility for that, often it means that we need to change our belief system, our programming, and also really unearth and unroot the benefit that we're actually getting from it. So with that, what is the benefit that you get from playing the victim? And the best way you look around it is just sit there and ask yourself, okay, where am I playing victim in my life? You know, what is it that I'm not taking responsibility for? And often as a victim, you'll be taking responsibility for things that are actually not your responsibility. So that's another angle to look at. And why is this playing out, right? Again, I want you to remember that when you start to look into it, it's not a bad thing. It's things that have been in the undercurrent playing out, and it's just rising up to the surface. And it's rising up to the surface because we are growing, we are expanding. And the following themes in this month will explain why. And also, when we play out this victim consciousness within ourselves, it gives us permission to judge. So have a look around you. Who are you judging? What are you judging? You know, and also you may be putting yourself up on a pedestal, or you might be putting others up on a pedestal, you know. And then again, like I mentioned before, what are you blaming? So those are the things to kind of look out for. And also another angle to this is, how are you asserting yourself onto other people? Your opinions, maybe your help, maybe your thoughts, maybe your feelings, which is another way of looking at it as projection, you know. And also have a look and take a step back. Who are you saving? What are you saving them from, right? So remember, with this victim consciousness, there's this drama triangle playing out. So you've got a victim, you've got a perpetrator, and you've got a rescuer. So the victim's likely to blame, the perpetrator's likely to attack, and the rescuer is likely to save. So it's these stories and these narratives that are playing out. So have a look at that, okay? And those of you that are sensitive will have this tendency to fall into this victimhood, because what's happening is your sensitivities are increasing and they're growing. So you're going to be able to feel more. So when you feel more, you feel like you're a victim of that as well. But you need to remember your sensitivities are a gift, right? And you're learning to use it by creating boundaries and practicing boundary management. So remember, your sensitivities are a gift, and if you're feeling overwhelmed or like a victim for it, just take a step back and have a look to see, okay, what do I need to shift here? Okay, so let's move on to theme 2. And this one is called, this was really interesting, this one is called Cosmic Connection. And this theme really came to me on a couple of days ago. I was talking to a really good friend of mine on Tuesday, and we were looking at, you know, she reflected something really amazing back to me in terms of my connection to the cosmos, or the cosmic connection. And it was interesting, while we were talking, my guides kind of came through, and the way that they showed me is that what's really happening at the moment is our ability to connect to the energies of the cosmos is getting stronger and clearer. And the way that they showed me this is that if you imagine a world, like our world, Earth, so if you imagine Earth and imagine your guides and your universal guides, whatever, your angels, whatever it is that are outside of the world, right? So the way that you would connect, there would have been a longer journey from you here on Earth connecting to them that are outside of Earth. Then they move closer into the Earth's atmosphere. And now the way that they showed me is that they're actually here, standing next to us, in front of us, behind us. So it's very, very, how can I explain this? They're very, very, very close to us, right? And what is also happening, that's why the victim consciousness energy is really important to kind of clear, because it's going to bring a stronger connection and clarity with your with this cosmic connection. So the key thing here is that the more that you go inside, the more that we acknowledge our pain, our wounds, our trauma, our unexpressed emotions, our triggers, the more we take responsibility for our thoughts, our emotions, our reactions, our actions, and the more we focus on the frequency that we want to create. So the more that we focus on can't get the words out. The more that we focus on the frequency that we want to create, the greater and easier our connection with this cosmos becomes, right? And those of you that are already connected to your guides, your angels, what you may be experiencing is that you're getting access to new information. So maybe it's new healing modality tools, maybe it's new light codes, light language, healing sound frequencies. There's different sort of frequencies that are coming through to you, and you're going to be able to use it. And sometimes it's just about you being present and you being yourself, and there's nothing else that you need to do. So remember that those of us that are sensitive, we're getting new information all the time. Okay, but not only that, we're also not only are we able to download this information, but we're also having experiences of where we're uploading this information. So I call it the 3Cs, C. It's like a collective cosmic cloud technology stroke database. So think about it as like, you got the iClouds, and you upload data on there, and the data then you can download it on another device. There's an energy of that is kind of going on. So remember, if you're already connected, your connection's going to grow and you're going to get new information. And those of you guys, if you never felt like you were connected, or you never felt like you had any guides, what you might be experiencing is a sensation. Maybe something's brushing you along in your arm. Maybe you get a tingle at the back of your head, or maybe you get a feeling through your body, or maybe you hear a voice. So what's happening with you, whether if you thought that you've never been connected, you're having a different sensory experience, and so therefore we're all kind of getting connected to it. We're all at different levels, and no level is better than the other. We're just all having different experiences, and all our experiences is valid. So remember that whatever your experience is, please do not compare yourself to anyone else. Your experience is completely and utterly valid. So please remember that. Okay, let's move on to the third theme. So the third theme is called World Between Worlds. And, some of you guys might be feeling that you're in this space where you are not quite here and not quite there. So you're almost like in the space where you're in between worlds. Maybe you're living in 2 or 3 different realities. Maybe there is this sensation where your dream world and your real life world collide, and you may have this ability to recall your dreams a little bit more clearly, with a lot more clarity. Maybe there's a sensation that's been left, or maybe there's you feel differently when you kind of wake up. And also for some of you guys, I think that you might be starting to get premonitions through your dreams as well. So just start to become aware. And those of you guys that are not aware, have a look at lucid dreaming, and also have like a notebook or diary next to you. So start to write down your dreams, because that will help you to understand what's actually going on, because that is becoming, it's almost like it's becoming really real, rather than it's just like, oh, I just had a dream. It's like, actually, this is another reality that is happening, and I'm actually living in it, and I'm participating in it. So there may be something here around setting intentions of what you want to achieve in your dream state to create in your waking state. So what you want to create, your intentions for your dream state, and which then links to what you want to create in your waking state. Okay. The thing about this is that for some of us, or actually many of us, it might actually feel quite disorientated, because it's that sensation, as I mentioned before, you're not quite here, you're not quite there. It could be a little bit unsettling and exhausting. So make sure that you're taking time out to have rest. So nap wherever you can, do some meditation wherever you can, do some really deep, slow breath work wherever you can. And also I'm just getting, my guides are saying, oh, for some of you guys, Qi-gong is going to be such a beautiful medicine right now for navigating this world between worlds area. Okay. The other thing to remember is make sure that you're grounding yourself. So you take a moment or a couple of moments throughout the day, whether you go and walk barefoot, out in grass, soil, sand, even in water for some of you guys, or if you don't have that available, try visualization. Visualize that, you've got a tree in front of you, your hands are on the tree, when you take a deep breath, the breath is coming from the tree, and then your soles of your feet is connected to the roots of the tree, and then you're breathing up through the soles of your feet. And think about the energy of Mother Earth kind of moving up through your feet, your legs, your belly, your chest, and all the way up to your head. And breathe deeply. And this will help kind of settle that unsettling and disorienting feeling, you know? And this is where the energy of as I mentioned before, there's this beautiful feminine energy that's moving through us that's very, very linked to the earth. And as I mentioned, it's got this, the image that I keep seeing is one of, forgot the name, this female Amazonian warrior. So it's very grounding, it's very earthy, it's very strong, it's subtle, but it's also very creative as well. Okay, so maybe have a kind of feel into that, and just remember that your energetic alignment is going to be key. So what is it that you want to align to? And with that, I'm going to go on to the fourth and final theme, which is actually called energetic alignment. So those of you guys that know, you've probably heard the term energetic alignment. It's my monthly thing that I do, which I'll tell you a little bit about in a bit more detail in a moment. But this theme is really about decluttering on an energetic level. Okay, so I've got some questions and tools here to help you to kind of start to declutter your energy. And for some of you guys, maybe going through these questions and writing the answers down, and then actually physically decluttering your space, your computer, your paperwork, whatever it is. I think all of this is going to help you with this new kind of alignment because of this new kind of cosmic connection that is coming through and stronger. So let's go into the questions. So what narratives are you no longer in alignment with? What narratives or stories are you no longer in alignment with? Write it down, see what kind of comes out, and allow yourself to be kind of write intuitively. Don't overthink it, just write the first couple of things that kind of come out and just keep writing until you finish writing it. And I think part of the way that you write will also release that energy as well. Okay, what relationships are you no longer in alignment with? What relationships are you no longer in alignment with? The third question, what work are you no longer in alignment with? So what are the things that you determine that as work that you're no longer in alignment with? Whether you're doing it now, whether you've done it in the past, it doesn't matter. Just kind of write it down. This doesn't mean that you're going to have to change your job straight away. I think it's just about giving some awareness and recognition to that. So what work are you no longer in alignment with? What values are you no longer in alignment with? So this could be values that you have for yourself, right? For your own company. This could be values that are in, if you're someone that doesn't run your own company, but you work for someone, your employer, it could be your employer's values. So have a look at that. What values are you no longer in alignment with? And just write that down. What food and drinks are you no longer in alignment with? And then finally, what behaviors, emotions, thought forms are you no longer in alignment with? And just see what kind of comes up. And part of this energetic alignment decluttering process is that as you write, you'll start to declutter. And then once you've done that, if you feel like you want to move things around in your space or open up the windows, that's another great way of just really clearing out this energy of the old, and then start to define the frequency that you want to align to, right? And this could be, what frequency does your values hold? What frequencies are, and making sure that, there's boundaries. You look at boundaries, you look at behaviors, and do this with the energy of play, joy, and creativity. Okay, so when you start to redefine your what you want to align with, think about the frequency and see, it may not be words that come through. Okay, so it may not be words, and the only question that you need to ask yourself is, what frequency do I want to align with going forward? And what frequency does my values align with going forward? What frequency do my narratives align going forward? What frequency does my work and my values, my food, my drink, my behaviors, my emotions, and my thoughts align with, right? And maybe just asking those questions and taking a moment to just breathe deeply and see what it is that you feel, because this is going to feel like, this is not a tangible thing, this is like a sensory thing. Okay, so remember to be playful, bring in the energy of joy, and allow your creativity to go wild. Okay, so that is it for this month. Thank you so much for watching. If you have found these insights useful, please do share them, because you never know who might be needing to hear this month. Also, please feel free to drop a comment below, and if you're watching on YouTube, give us a thumbs up, and then if you're watching on Facebook or IGTV, give us some love on there as well. And then finally, those of you guys that know, each month I run something called Energetic Alignment, which is a guided visualization meditation. And it's a healing journey that I take a group of you guys through. It's very, very intimate, it's small groups. And this month's theme is called Cosmic Creativity. So we'll be working more with the sacral chakra and the energies of play, creativity, and see what kind of comes up in that. So that's taking place on the 21st of February at a new time. So I'm going to alternate the times each month, because there's some of you guys are all over the world, so trying to cater for all of you. So this month's time it's going to be at 4 p.m. UK time, which means it's going to be 11 a.m. EST and 8 a.m. PST. And you can find out more information about that at anumi.com/events. Thanks for watching, and see you next month. Bye for now.